Hello and welcome to WEBN Sports. I'm Daniel Lipoff.
And I'm Kira Lancia. Let's get right into the latest sports news. LeBron James is on track to soon reach 50,000 career points. This milestone has never been touched by an NBA player before. James scored 17 points on Sunday night when the Lakers went up against the Clippers. This gave the Lakers a win at 108-102. It also put James just 1 point away from reaching this historic 50,000-point goal.
Sacramento Kings star center Domantas Sabonis suffered a grade 1 hamstring injury and is out indefinitely. This injury occurred during Saturday's game against the Houston Rockets. He was running down the court about a minute into the game before stopping and pulling at his hamstring. He did not return. The Kings are now without Sabonis as they try to avoid the play-in tournament.
On Saturday, Stephen Curry dunked a ball for the first time in an NBA game in 6 years. This play occurred during the fourth quarter of the Golden State Warriors game against the Philadelphia 76ers. Despite Curry's surprising play, the Warriors ended up losing to the Sixers 126-119. After the game, Curry spoke to reporters about his performance. He said, quote, "That will probably be my last dunk. I'm calling it right now. That's the last one you will see." For more NBA stories, we go to our expert on the NBA, Lorena Rivera.
So Gilgeous-Alexander scored 50 points for the fourth time this season on Monday night's win over the Houston Rockets. The Oklahoma City Thunder claimed their 50th win of the season. Gilgeous-Alexander, who leads the NBA in scoring, had never scored 50 in a game in his career before this stretch. It's the shortest span for a player to record his first 4 career 50-point games in NBA history after only having done so in the past 7 games. The Dallas Mavericks announced on Monday that they will raise season ticket prices for next season due to ongoing investment in the team and fan engagement. The Mavericks have dealt with discontent from the fans after they traded Luka Doncic to the Lakers in exchange for Anthony Davis, who is known for frequently getting injured. Davis has been out since February 8th with a groin injury from his Mavericks debut, while Doncic has been thriving with the Lakers with the possibility of getting them a title. Kyrie Irving has suffered a season-ending torn ACL in his left knee. He sustained the injury late in the first quarter of the Mavericks' loss to the Sacramento Kings on Monday night. Irving, a 9-time NBA All-Star player, is the only player this season averaging at least 20 points, 40% three-point shooting, and 90% from free throw line. Irving's diagnosis is the latest loss for the Mavericks, who are already missing Anthony Davis due to an adductor strain, as well as Derek Lively II, Daniel Gafford, and Caleb Martin. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Lorena. On Sunday, the Lakers wrapped up their 4-game regular season series against the Clippers. So let's take a look at the highlights. So it's going to be Luka, deep 3, first shot in the game, beautiful. And then Luka on another drive, he's going to get injured on this play. He'll get the foul, and he's actually going to be taken to the locker room. But he did return later. He's stretching up. He's chilling. Then LeBron with the pass to Jackson Hayes and a lob. Let's take a look at this. Boom. Beautiful. Then James Harden's going to deep pass it to Kawhi Leonard, who's going to bury a deep 3. And then Luka Doncic, the ball is stolen by Chris Dunn, who's going to run down the court. He's going to do it. But it's blocked by James. Let's take another look at that. This is remnant of the 2016 NBA Finals. By the way, he's 40, still doing the chase down block. He'll still do it to you because that's the GOAT, LeBron James.
We'll have more news for you after this short break.
Welcome back to WEBN Sports. Panthers forward Matthew Tkachuk has been placed on injured reserve after suffering a groin injury in the first game of the Four Nations face-off. Tkachuk first started to feel discomfort during the first game of the Four Nations face-off and was limited to around 6 minutes on the ice during the final. It is not known how long the Stanley Cup champion will be out for.
Alex Ovechkin is now just 11 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's record of 894 career goals. The Washington Capitals left wing made his 884th goal on Saturday. Ovechkin's goal was the Capitals' only point on the board in their 3-1 game against the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Capitals now head into Wednesday's game against the Rangers as Ovechkin looks to close in further on Gretzky's record. For more on the NHL, we go to our NHL correspondent, Anderson Free.
The Boston Bruins have traded forwards Trent Frederick, Max Jones, and Peter Hauser to the Edmonton Oilers in exchange for defenseman Max Wagner, a 2025 second-round pick, and a 2026 fourth-round pick. The New Jersey Devils also received forward Shane Lachance for taking on half of Frederick's salary. Frederick has been having one of his weaker seasons for the Bruins, only scoring 8 goals and 7 assists in 57 games and sitting at a -14 on the year. The Oilers are hopeful that the acquisition of Frederick will help them in their Western Conference title defense as they are gearing up for the postseason. The Frederick-less Bruins will take on the Nashville Predators tonight at the TD Garden at 7 p.m. The Florida Panthers traded for Chicago Blackhawks defenseman Seth Jones and the 2026 fourth-round pick in exchange for a 2026 first-round pick and goaltender Spencer Knight. The Blackhawks will retain $2.5 million of Jones' salary over the next 5 seasons, and the first-round pick moves to 2027 if Florida ends up not owning a pick next year. The all-star defenseman has scored 7 goals and put up 20 assists in 42 games this season. Jones and the Panthers will continue their cup defense Thursday when they take on the Columbus Blue Jackets at Amerant Bank Arena. The Colorado Avalanche have traded for defensemen Ryan Lindgren and Hank Kempf and forward Jimmy Vesey from the New York Rangers in exchange for defenseman Calvin DeHaan, forward Juuso Pearson, and the 2025 second-round pick and 2025 fourth-round pick. The Avalanche are hoping to climb up in the standings with this move as they currently stand as the first wildcard team in the Western Conference playoff race. Lindgren has put up 2 goals and 17 assists in 54 games, while Vesey has scored 4 goals and 2 assists in 33 games. The Avalanche and their new acquisitions will take on the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight at 9 p.m. at Ball Arena. For WEBN, I'm Anderson Free.
Thank you, Anderson. After more than 30 years, the St. John's Red Storm are the Big East champions, beating out Seton Hall 71-61 in a sold-out Madison Square Garden. Head coach Rick Pitino declared to fans that they are just getting started. University President Reverend Brian Shanley said, quote, "This is the answer to a prayer." The Red Storm will go up against Marquette on Saturday to round out the regular season.
Selection Sunday is less than 2 weeks away, and we will soon find out who will be awarded a spot in the 68-team bracket. According to ESPN's Analytics Tourney Forecast model, 32 teams have at least a 95% chance of making it into March Madness. Some of the locked teams are Duke, Clemson, UConn, Purdue, UCLA, Texas Tech, and BYU. The SEC is currently leading with 9 teams, including Ole Miss and Alabama. This Sunday, the South Carolina Gamecocks hosted the Kentucky Wildcats at Colonial Life Arena. Let's take a look at the highlights of their game. Right, so South Carolina was taking an early lead in this game, with Tahini Paopao making that basket right there. The Wildcats followed close behind, with Jordy Griggs putting some points on the board right here. As we can see, Jordy Griggs is back at it again, bringing the Wildcats to a 33-point total at half. Malaysia Fawili blocks Tiani Key and puts South Carolina even further ahead of Kentucky. Right here, as we can see, making that beautiful basket. It was close in the fourth quarter, but South Carolina stayed in the lead from there, beating out Kentucky 78-66.
Stick around for more news after this break.
Welcome back to the show.
New York Yankees Giancarlo Stanton will start off the season on the injured list due to elbow injuries that have sidelined him during spring training. He received platelet-rich injections in both of his elbows during the offseason and hopes to rejoin the team in Tampa soon.
President Donald Trump has said he plans to give the late baseball player and manager Pete Rose a posthumous complete pardon. Rose passed last year at the age of 83 and was banned from the MLB in 1989 for gambling on games as an active player and manager. These actions landed Rose on the ineligible list to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. A complete pardon would remove Rose from this list. Trump claims Rose should be, quote, elected even though far too late into the Baseball Hall of Fame. For more on the MLB, we go to our MLB expert, Chloe Fadum.
Third baseman Mike Moustakas announced his retirement from Major League Baseball. Although he hasn't played in the majors since 2023, Moustakas will be signing a one-day contract with the Kansas City Royals to retire in their organization. Moustakas played on the Royals for 8 years before being traded to the Brewers. Over those 8 years, he had 130 home runs and set a single-season club record with 38 home runs in 2017. He will finish his 13-year career with 215 home runs. A pregame ceremony will be held on May 31st at Kauffman Stadium to celebrate his retirement. Pitcher Jose Quintana has signed a 1-year, $4 million deal with the Milwaukee Brewers. He will receive a $250,000 roster bonus as well. Quintana's 2-year, $26 million contract with the New York Mets ended at the end of the 2024 season. Before playing with the Mets, Quintana spent 5 years with the Chicago White Sox, 4 with the Chicago Cubs, and 2 among other teams. In his 5 starts between the end of August and mid-September this past season, Quintana only allowed 1 earned run over 32 innings. This will be his 14th season in the major leagues. Atlanta Braves catcher Sean Murphy is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks of games with a cracked left rib. He got hurt after being hit by a pitch during last week's spring training game against the Miami Marlins. He is expected to make his return during the first few weeks of April. Braves top prospect Drake Baldwin now has the opportunity to fill in as the starting catcher for the Braves while Murphy is on the injured list.
Thank you, Chloe. That's all we have for you tonight.
Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night.